me. See, I'm riding high. Whoa. Kind of broke, see me young, so all I got is fire. I got fire. Player, give me some room and I might just chill. But I'm the type that like to light another joint like Cypress Hill. I still feel these pillowies when I puff on it. I got some bucks on it, but it ain't enough on it.
All right, THP, it's your boy Illiterate back with JDax.
Hey, what's going on, guys? And
our man ChefKritter, the Morgan Cup legend from last year. So we're going to break down the action from today, the singles action. So let me pull up our match results here real quick, and let's break these down. So, Dax, we're going to kick it off with you again. Yeah. We've got Moulton and Campillo Baxter. Moulton, 6-5, wins this thing. What are your thoughts about that match?
Well, we talked about it yesterday. Look, Paradise could have used Chef today. That's my first thought. But yeah, Camp goes out and really, like, it looks as if that match could go either way until they get to the 8th hole. Moulton gets a very fortuitous break where it looks like his ball's going to go out of bounds. It does not. He ends up winning 8, 9, 10, and then the route is on. The wheels totally come off of Campillo Baxter, and that set the stage of a day where Paradise wasn't ever going to get enough momentum to get this done, and sort of that match is sort of a microcosm of the entire day.
Chef, how about you? Yeah. Anything to add there?
Yeah, I mean, Moulton came out and played golf today. 3 over in his round, got on the streak there, 10, 11, 8 through 13, he played even par. The guy just played solid. It would have taken some serious golf to go out there and play him, and beat him. Campillo Baxter came out and he just got on a bogey train off the start and kind of put him behind the 8 ball, but he made him come back. But then that break on 8, I think, was almost the straw on the camel's back for Campillo Baxter.
Yeah, Moulton was one up right there, right? Isn't that what you said, Dax? Moulton was 1 up on 8, and then
Moulton was 1 up on 8, and then if that ball probably goes out of bounds, that it looks as if potentially Camp squares the match. Big difference between squaring the match and then being 2 down going into 9, and that's sort of where it all sort of went south. But hats off to Moulton. He went out, survived a charge by Camp, and put finishing touches of a 6-5. It's solid.
Yeah. And next match we had Canadan and JDax, with Canadan winning that one for Team Hackers 6-5. And I personally love when somebody asks Jeremy on the show, can we get an update on, we haven't had an update since hole 12, and he said it's been over since hole 12. It was kind of funny. Dax, what were your thoughts there?
Yeah, that's exactly like somebody, when I was granddaddy-in-law, it's like someone asked for like my score on 14, and I'm like, why does it matter? This match is already over. So I got tickled by a very similar post. Yeah, he just never got it going, and this is something that we talked about last night, and he had to have everything sort of go his way in the Battle of the Beards. And, he took an early lead, and then Dan sort of just like shut the door on him. And he didn't take as good of advantage of some of his pops early. Like, remember, we talked about all 8 of his pops were coming before the 15th hole. So I thought he was going to be able to get the match late into the later part of the course, and he didn't. So, hats off to Dan. I picked him last. It's not a shocker, but I thought that maybe if there was a spot where we were going to get a spark from Paradise, it may have been here, and it didn't happen.
Jeff?
Yeah, what can you say? Dan went out 1 over today, but the funny thing is, playing with Moulton and Campillo Baxter is that, it seemed like they got on a roll at the same time, right? They were just in a groove together, that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They were just played steady golf, and turned and just get another hole, got another hole, and just added up. I think JDax hit number 14 in 2 today. Unfortunately, the match was passed in there, and it almost made eagle, I think. We made one of the 8 birdies on the day out there from everybody. But it was battle of the beards. Dan just fairways and greens on him.
I hear you. Chef, let's start with you on this one. We had Peehoffer and Boiler Clee. What are your thoughts about that match today? That one finished all square, the only all-square match we had this entire tournament.
Like this was
technically, we're going to get to that, but they squared a match that didn't even because there was an injury. There was a half and half. They did square the Yags dog fan match to start the day. So there was 2 matches that were halved.
Technically, yes. Go ahead, Chef. What are your thoughts there?
I mean, Peehoffer comes out, birdies 1, right? I mean, if there would have been a skins game today, he would have had 2 of like 5 skins, right? I mean, like two birdies, and a match that just went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And Boiler Clee just makes a comeback on the back 9, par 17, pars 18 to square the match. I mean, gutsy comeback to get a half a point right there. But man, that was awesome to see. Just all day, it was just back and forth and just seesawed and seesawed. You never knew which way it was going to go.
Yeah.
But those guys was a great match. It was fun to watch those 2 all day.
Dax, how about you? What's your thoughts?
I mean, it's very impressive. We talked about Boiler yesterday. I mean, his record is not going to be reflective of probably how well he played. And those things do happen sometimes in team events when you sort of get lost up in the wash. He had there was an avalanche of pops that he had to navigate. I think someone posted that it was 24. And somehow he squared the match. That's a lot because he probably slept thinking that he would be only laying 1 to Yags. And then he gets there and realizes, oh, dear God, I've got to attempt to try to navigate this now. The fact that he was able to grind it out and get to all square is very impressive to me. And hats off to both guys. That match was really fun to watch. And those first 4 matches, we were watching them because I felt like if we got a split, if we could have got a split, this thing like teetered a whole different way. And so I was watching intently that match and the next one, but hats off to Boiler and Viper. Fun pairing, man.
Well, what about we got a new putting style out of this? I mean, Boiler Cleave with the sledgehammer grip. Is that the name of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I kept watching that video that was posted like over and over again because, I mean, I had 34 putts yesterday, and of course with this new Azalea that I've got in, so Stroke Lab, and I started saying, hey, I don't know exactly what he's doing here because he's combining a couple different things together, but it's very interesting. I think he should post like an entire post about his putter grip. to let the THP universe ask like particular questions about what is he trying to accomplish there, because I thought it was like very interesting.
Absolutely.
All right, wonderful. So let's move on here. We've got next we had Buck Nasty winning 2 up over 93 Civic Coupe. I'll add Buck Nasty, only player from Hackers to go 4-0 this entire weekend.
Yeah, man. I mean, what else? He stated a case. I'm gonna go. I'm a big Buck Nasty fan here. That match was fun because look, 93 Civic Coupe. Sean made him work for this match. Okay, he took the lead, and then like he stepped on him on 8. They got to Dormy, and then they get to 18. Buck Nasty wins 18 with a birdie. I believe like to just like emphatic fashion to win 2 up. He states a claim. I mean, I think that he. Was definitely probably – I don't know how the MVP voting went down, but I'd have to say that he got his fair share of looks because he was worthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Buck Nasty, heck of a week, man. I mean, dude he showed up in every match, won every match. Dude was almost invisible. I mean, for 93 Civic Coupe, though, I mean, this is how crazy the match play is, right? So on – Civic Coupe loses 4, 5, 6, splits 7, and then he hits the shot of the day on 8. Hits it to like 4 feet, right, for a birdie, and just turns it the other way, and then he wins the next hole, the next hole, the next hole. I mean, so that's the momentum of match play, and these guys just went at it all day. It was just up one side, down, up. It's that one shot can turn everything on this thing.
Yeah, for sure. And then, here we are in match 5. We've got OITW and the Rat himself, with the Rat winning 3-1. Dax, what are your thoughts about that match?
I mean, it was a good comeback by Jose. Like, I mean, Alex went out there and gave Jose all he wanted, and at one point looked like that he was gonna like sort of like cruise in and win this thing, and then Jose came in and just shut the door on him. And hats off for it to be even that close, 3-1. Jose, though he doesn't take home the Morgan Cup, he can be happy with the way he played today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, Little Rat, OITW, it was going to be a highlighted match right there. Both of them played really good golf. Unfortunately, Little Rat, he just doesn't make mistakes when it comes to match play. He's going to get that up and down. He's going to make the putt. Not going to hit it OB. And he's going to force you to beat him. And, with this golf course only giving up, 7, 8 birdies today, that's tough to do.
Yeah, agreed. All right, and then we've got Hackers winning another match here with 10-putt, 1 up over Ashunet. Talk to me about that one, Dak.
I mean, it sort of started out like a pillow fight. Like I was expecting a little bit more from both of them, because they both started the day on the schneid. They both started the day 0-3. And both of them, I thought last night I thought it was going to be way more pivotal of a match than it became, because of what happened ahead of them. But I wasn't shocked to see 10-putt win. But it just appeared like neither of these guys really had their game like the entire Morgan Cup. But in this particular case, 10 cups on the winner, 10-putt. I said 10 cup. 10-putt. 10-putt is on the winning team, and he gets a win. He's 1-3, but no one's going to remember it. He's going to have a tag, and everyone's going to remember that he was on Team Hackers. So, hats off to both those guys, because that match was close throughout.
I wonder how many hooded 5-irons he hit. Out there.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, 10-putt had a rough start, but the dude came up and played golf today. Showed up. Only guy. Fun fact of the day for this guy: 10-putt, played 14 through 18, even par.
Oh wow!
The gauntlet. Threw it down, won 1 up. I mean, played that stretch of golf, even par. Seriously, I mean, that's amazing. So happy for 10-putt to get that in. Acushnet, man, made a run through like 10, 11, 12, 13, even par, man. I mean, just clawing back in it. But, man, gutsy match right there. Both guys, either one could have won it. Hats off to 10-putt for pulling it out, though, man.
Yeah, and then we'll move on to this last match, last play. M2 Giles being the only player from Paradise to finish 4-0. He wins 3-2 over Wichita Reject.
Yes, and absolutely. Giles, the highlight of Paradise. Look, Paradise wins 8 points this entire Morgan Cup. 4 of them came from M2 Giles. That is impressive. You went out there and golfed your ball around, and then he jumped Wichita Reject. Like, he jumped him. I was like, oh my God. Like, I even gave Wichita Reject like a hey, look, I've lived this story before. I wish I would have just calmed down before I got just like totally mentally checked out. To Wichita's credit, he started grinding. Like, he was 4 down through 4, and then he only loses 3-2. That match gets all the way to 16. So hats off to you, Wichita. You played it, but M2 Giles, man. If you were on a different team, you scored half of Paradise's points. You should have nothing to be ashamed of the way you played.
Yeah, I mean, dude, M2 Giles came out strong. Wichita, I mean, struggled. Maybe a little press there, trying to do a little too much early. But, dude, just to be able to come back from that, I mean, dude, nobody wants to go up against that in match play ever again. You can guarantee that, right? If you see Wichita Reject against your name, you know that you're not in for a boat race for sure. You can't count that guy out. And then M2 Giles finishes it in style with a birdie on 16. I mean, closeout fashion, great way to win a hole, close a match that was just coming back. I mean, all the momentum. I mean, he played the left back 9 like 2 over. I mean, dude, it's solid.
That's solid. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He had to. I mean, look, it looked like that match. That one match was severely in the corner of it looking like it was going to be a boat race, and then all of a sudden, here comes Wichita Wind. Okay, he wins one. Now he's only down 3. Oh, he wins another. Now he's down 2, and he, Into Giles is probably cruising along there, and then realizing, oh, this guy's not going away. So I mean, look, Wichita Reject's tougher than Nickel Steak, and my hat's off to you. But great match.
That's good stuff. And then I guess the match that really didn't get played, we had Yagley versus Dogfan 28, and we had some sort of an injury. What are your thoughts on the injury? Was it a back injury or something?
Man, I hope that everyone's doing fine. I hope that no one's like severely hurt. It would have taken an awful lot for me not to have played. If I was there and injured myself in some way, shape, or form, it would have taken an awful lot for me not to have walked out there and played on Morgan Cup Sunday singles. So it's probably severe. And I hope that the Dogs fan, I think it's Dogs fan, I think it was reported that he's the one that's injured. I hope that it's nothing serious.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, worst thing, you get injured. It's sad to miss, have to miss that last day due to an injury. But hope he's well. Get back to swinging it soon and get back out there. We were wanting to see that ponytail today for sure.
I know, man. Like, he had the best hair there, so he robbed us of that moment with it just flowing, flowing in the wind. Just epic. I mean, just majestic hair from Dogs fan, and it's too bad he couldn't play.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So let's talk about the MVP. So obviously, OITW was our MVP of this trip. Who was y'all's MVP from sitting at home?
I mean, do you want me to go first? Look, I don't have a problem. I mean, I don't have a problem with who was chosen. I mean, I think OITW is a worthy MVP. I mean, I tell you this. I already said this. I'll go ahead and say it. If you give me a vote, I'm voting Buck Nasty here. And I think that the real sort of differentiating factor is Buck Nasty went 4-0, and he also engaged the form. I think that Alex's selfie game was a little stronger, and it probably tilted the vote into his favor. But OITW is a worthy winner here.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with anyone that got picked MVP. I mean, there's so much that you base it on: the record, the golf, form engagement. I mean, OITW SOT game, man, that is strong.
Yeah, so, oh my God.
I mean,
and, filter with his selfie game, his filter game, like his Instagram game. I'm gonna have to look him up on Instagram just so I can get some tips on how to him and Dan are like the two best like filter game people on the entire forum. I think that's that probably put him over the edge there. I think that to Chef's point, the selfie game is strong with this man.
Yeah. All right, I'm with you guys. I think I think OITW obviously worthy candidate for that, and so was Buck Nasty. I'm sure it was probably there's a lot of conversation about the two of them in the team room when it came down to trying to make those votes.
Let me take a second to talk about the captains though, and I think that everyone's going to remember Dan. Because Dan has won the Granddaddy and now he's won the Morgan Cup, but Jeremy had a tall task, and there was a lot that didn't really sort of work his way, and he handled this with class, man. But hats off to Dan. I thought he did a great job putting his team in the right position to win, and he's a worthy champion of both the Granddaddy and the Morgan Cup. But I don't want to leave this video without saying I thought that Jeremy handled himself he was total class act the entire time.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, obviously getting to play with Jeremy last year's Morgan Cup, dude's top notch. I mean, you don't get any better than that. Phenomenal guy. I mean, all these guys, phenomenal, and hopefully everybody got to see part of that from each other's team, right? So it's so easy to get wrapped up in just your own team at this event, but being able to be part of, see everybody else on the other team, amazing,
Yeah. Overall thoughts. I mean, Team Hackers wins this thing. I mean, at the end of the day, what do you feel like was the difference between Team Hackers and Team Paradise that helped Team Hackers pull this through? Chef, I'll start here with you.
You know, for me, from not being there, from a internet golfer at home, look at it and it seems like they were steadier through the mid part of the course. Every match and every round, you know, I looked at the scorecards and it was that middle of the round that they just flipped their way. They were able to control that middle section, put some pressure on Paradise. I don't think that you know, they played great golf and they showed up when they had to. I mean, 10 Putt played a phenomenal round today. Moulton played a phenomenal round. So coming off, you know, maybe not some of their best games, they showed up when they had to, and they did it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the key thing here is that, like, look at the way the action went. I mean, you looked at the teams that, I mean, Paradise was a definitive dog, and they had a chance today. They left yesterday 7-5, and they were still alive. And that is a testament to how they played in the team competition. And then a couple things go a different way today, and we may be talking about a different result. But at the end of the day, Hackers played better when they absolutely had to in the middle of the course from holes 13, 14, 15. So really holes 13 to 16, pardon me. Hackers played that stretch of golf better. It's sort of like watching the Masters and saying, okay, well, how did the, you know, like that year that Schwartzel, he birdies in from 15 in. Like, so there's a 4-hole stretch that we're talking about where collectively Hackers played it a whole lot better, and it's no mistake that stretch of the golf course required precision, and it's also no mistake that they all had F9 irons in their bag.
Good point. And yeah, that's going to wrap it up there for the Morgan Cup coverage.
Yeah. We thoroughly enjoyed it, though. Like, we enjoyed the follow. If you you know, we've had a lot of people view this these videos, so we appreciate y'all taking the time to listen to what, you know, 3 hackers have to, or Paradisers or whatever in Chef's case, have to say about the goings on throughout. But I mean, if you watched along and you don't want to go to a Morgan Cup, something's wrong with you. Yeah. I want to go to a Morgan Cup.
I mean, I remember when I signed up for the forum and I read about the Morgan Cup, and the Morgan Cup has been, like, you know, on one of the top of my list to try to get in for sure. So, you know, that was, I think, the first event that I read about, and I was like, wow, you know, and tried to get in for like the past, you know, 4 or 5 years. But it's definitely high on my list for sure.
I mean, you see the way the alumni treat the event. Like, you know, Chef, I mean, you know, Paradise alumni, Freddie, I texted him this week. Everyone's watching to see how their side's doing, and it's just like one of those things that you want to be able to be a part of. So, like, these people that just sort of picked up and, hey, what's going on here? Because I mean, I saw a lot of that. Hey, you know, can someone explain to me what's going on? Or, hey, I just found this place, I'm watching along here. If you don't want to go to Morgan Cup, something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah. I mean, I was in full millennial mode today, right? I had to run to the grocery store, pick up a few things. I got my phone out. I'm just like, oh, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? It's amazing follow from home. Everybody did awesome, like filling us in. They were coming back, answering questions, you know, that we threw at them during the round. But I mean, it just gets those juices flowing. You want to be at the Morgan Cup. I mean, you want to. You have to.
Oh yeah.
Something's wrong.
You know, I'm just gonna say, kind of on behalf of the entire group, that you know, great job to everybody that was out there taking pictures and updating the forum. But before we leave, let's talk a little bit about an event that Chef may have a little bit of influence in, the Srixon event coming up here in a couple of weeks. Chef, how are you feeling? Where's your game at? How excited are you?
Oh, let's see. I've hit 73 golf balls in practice since I played 1 round of golf yesterday. Shot 77 with 1 birdie. So there's definitely some rust there on the game, but I feel good. You know, knowing some of the guys are going to be out there. I got some good temperatures this weekend whenever I come back. I got to travel, but I'll definitely put in some work over the next couple of weeks and see if I can get down there to give Huddy and BL a run for their money. Team Noel's going to take it, though. I mean, just come on, let's be real. Team
Noel, I like it. Oil and Chef.
Well, I mean, I think that look, this is going to be just as equal as fun of a follow for me. I mean, maybe not as fun, but it's going to be super fun. You should follow this along. From an odds standpoint, there's no doubt in my mind, Team Noel is going to get hammered. Like, they're going to get hammered because Noel is very interactive on Twitter to a lot of the THP universe. She's great. Everyone loves her. I mean, I haven't seen like anybody besides people that are on Team Zach like post say #Team Zach. I have not even seen that. Like, it may be the action on the contest may be equally as lopsided as it was for Hackers in Paradise here. But let me tell you something. If you think that they're gonna, and I love Chef, I love Soil, I love their team. Okay, I love Noel, but if you think they're just gonna waltz in there, and Hudson's gonna just like let them, and Hudson and BL are just gonna let them like roll over, like they are a very live underdog because Hudson is probably one of the best ball strikers, and I'm biased, but I don't know, Chef, you've seen him play. And you're not related. He's a great ball. His short game is great, and he is a great ball striker. And he's in love with the trying out of the Srixon 785 in the Z Forge. He's going to give you all you want.
Look, I've got something that up my sleeve for Hudson only, right? I'll let you on a little secret, right? So they may hit an errant drive or whatever, and when he's not paying attention, I'm going to push him over in the sand, and all that KT tape that he uses. It's going to get rough in there, man. It's going to cause him some problems with the sand getting on that KT tape. The KT tape's going to start letting loose. Bring it home, baby. Back nine.
I mean, I think that, I mean, also, it looks like Team Zach's like in shambles. You got BL like arguing with his coach. You got Hudson like barely 4 weeks removed from a knee repair. You've got Jay Wrangler going out there. I mean, though he won some money today, he did shoot like 86, a little rust. So I'm worried because I know that Soil is like secretly grinding, even though he's like poor mouthing us about those rounds. I know Chef is going out there. I see D'Animal grinding away. I'm sure. I mean, I can watch on Instagram Noel just piping drive after drive down the fairway.
That's my captain.
Right, that's your captain. I haven't seen anything from Zach to let me think.
I'm bringing a t-ball bat for him, man. He thinks it's baseball.
Yes. So yeah, I do think that Noel and them are going to go off as a favorite, but this is going to be a really fun follow.
About D'Animal or like other than the 86 that Jay Ringer shot today, do we know anything about those two guys?
Yeah, I mean they've been posting a little bit more, and so I've been getting to learn like sort of like what's going on with their game. I think that D'Animal is working on some things, and if you look at their sort of club selection, they all sort of went safe. I mean, Soil's got shovels at the top of the bag. Although I hit those shovels at demo day yesterday and loved them, by the way. Those U85 utility, loved them. He's got a combo set of U85s and 785s. Hudson's got a combo set of like 785s and Z4s.
I mean, I loved my utility 2-iron until I bent it.
Yeah, but that was on you tomahawking it into the ground. So I think that we're gonna see a lot of 785 drivers. We're gonna see a lot of the very similar setups on the 3-woods, and then some of they went really chalk on the iron makeups. Their orders were nowhere near as fun as the Morgan Cup orders from an internet golf entertainment standpoint. So
I didn't have enough tape, dude. They didn't have enough tape left over from the Morgan Cup. There's a national shortage, man. They said I couldn't get 13 on the bottom and 17.5 on the top.
But you'll see us back. I can't wait. That's a couple weeks away. You'll see us back talking about Srixon.
Here's the key thing, though. We haven't seen our clubs yet. No one's hit their setup yet.
So are you guys getting them at the event, or is there a possibility you get them before, or do you know?
I think we're doing them at the event.
At the event, so it's going to be you're going to get them out there and go. Okay. It's kind of like the granddaddy, essentially, without the fitting. All right.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Dax, any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
No, man, it was great. Another Morgan Cup in the books. Can't wait to see what THP has next. Just making the impossible possible. And I can't say enough about the guys in this event. And Paradise, keep your heads up. Y'all gave them all they wanted, and congratulations to Hackers for taking the Morgan Cup home.
Yeah, Chef, any final thoughts from you?
Well done, Team Hackers. Cobra McGolf hitting a home run with THP again, man. Can't say enough great things about Master Yagley, Little Rat, Rachel. They go all out on this, and these guys got treated amazing this week. The golf was amazing. The follow was amazing. Thanks for taking us on the journey with us.
Absolutely, and I'm just going to go ahead and plug the Albatross Club membership. That's all it costs to people to get into these events. So sign up if you haven't. For Chef, for Dax, I'm illiterate. Thank you guys again for following us. We will see you guys again in a couple weeks.